All right, here it is. We got the spouse partner objection. I'm sure you guys hate this one. Honestly, me, all our closers, we all dislike this objection too. Because I'm sure all you guys know it's always a smokescreen, or the amount of times you guys actually close this is really low. So this video is going to show you exactly how we objection handle it at a very high percentage. And this was actually taught to me from a team lead over at acquisition.com. And pretty much just goes to show Alex Ramosi is using the same exact method. You guys should be using the same method as well. So I'll walk you through exactly how we go through it, the exact workflows, every possible scenario they'll rebuttal to you, and then how we diffuse that, and then I'll kind of go into it a little bit here. So first things first, before we actually get into the partner objection steps, you should not be getting the partner objection in a call, right? If you get that in a call, something went wrong beforehand where you weren't able to pre-handle it. We either want the setter to pre-handle it on the setting call. Hey, do you have a partner? Are you sole decision maker? If not that, we want the closer, before their first sales call, I'm messaging them, sending them voice memo, pre-handling that. Is there anyone else waiting on the call? Sole decision maker, like all the qualifying questions again, just a double check. And if that doesn't happen, they don't respond at the very start of the Zoom call, we always just go, hey, did you watch the VSO, XYZ? But also we want to pre-handle, is there anyone else that needs to be on call with you here? Are you a sole decision maker? What's the relationship you have with anyone else in your team? We've had people who have like cold email marketers, not even be part of like the admin work that we've had to, like pre-handle it because the relationship is so strong. Now, once again, at the end of the call, we need to ensure it's not a smoke screen. Lots of times people will say, oh, I have a partner after you say the price. Lots of times people are lying about that. That's not actually the case. So we need to differentiate if someone's actually lying to you and smoke screen, or if this video is really going to be for that 5% of the time people actually do have a partner and they actually do want their feedback and exactly how we're going to get them closed in that sales call without having them leave. So let's hop right into it here. So step number one, we need to fuse and include some personal persuasion. Number one, if someone ever says any sort of objection, not just partner objection, you always want to back up. If someone goes back to you, they're taking it back a little bit because of the pricing, taking it back or whatever, you always want to mimic them. If they go in, you also want to go in. In this case, people are going out. So you can visibly just go back like this. This is what we do. Visibly go back, no worries. Not a bother, brother. Then from there, we're going to get into personal persuasion. All right, step number one. This is just an example of what you can say. If your partner was right here on the call with you today and offer this, all right, restart. All right, now let's get into personal persuasion. Step number one. This is just an example we can say. If your partner was right here on the call with you today and all for this, then do you feel this would be the answer for you? That's a question we want to ask them. Now, they're probably going to say, yeah, it probably is. Most of the time, people are going to say, yeah, it probably is. If they say no, then it's not a partner objection. There's something else with the system that doesn't make sense to them that we need to reloop and get them to understand. And then eventually bring them back here, and now they'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, now I understand it. Makes sense. That is something I need. Yeah, you guys are solid. This is what we need. Just on my partner. Got it. We always want them to tell us right after they say that, why do you feel this is something you need? Why do you think this will work for you? So that we can double down on it and get them to tell us to, number one, prove that they're actually committed to it, that they understand it, and number two, close themselves for us. When people verbally say things out loud like, yeah, this is the program I need, this is going to help me, they're closing themselves for you, and we're going to do this multiple times throughout the process here. Step number two, we want to get them on the same side of the table as you. Instead of having to be them, partner against you, we want to bring the partner, the one in the call, right here on the same side of the table, so it's a 2v1 against his other partner, and it's not going to be a 2v1 against you. You're not going to win that. So how are we going to get them on the same side of the table? So when you go talk to John, do you feel, not John, I guess, Rebecca, do you feel she would want to learn XYZ and get to XYZ result for you and your family? Once you go talk with Rebecca, your wife, do you think she's going to want you to get a little bit more money so that she can quit her work and spend more time with you, spend more time with the kids? Do you think that's something she's gonna want? Obviously, they're gonna say yeah. So we're getting another affirmation right there. Step 3. What if they say no? Okay. Well, what are you gonna do if they don't want to invest in the program or service? So that you can get you to where you want to be in 12 months, whether it's that 3-month commitment, 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever you guys are running. We want them to visualize what they're gonna do if they say no. All right, say, hey man, are you gonna go talk with John? Okay, awesome. So you like the system. What if John doesn't like the system? What are we gonna do then? This is where this segment should be tackling a lot of that. Well, how are you gonna get there if you don't have these skills and services? We just need to make some logic in their head right here. Awesome. So you guys are running, let's say, lead generation. Let's say that's your service. And they're like, yeah, this is something we need, and we need someone to partner with us to do our meta ads so that we can get clients in the next 12 months. Solid. So are you going to just learn meta ads on your own? Are you going to try to do it on your own? How do you expect to do that? Without those skill sets? And they're going to try to say like either we're going to try to do it on our own, and if they do say that, it's away from the partner objection. Now we're trying to diffuse that, but let's just say now we can't do it on our own. That's most of the time what they're going to say if it is a true partner objection. So we have 2 options here. Now let's just start off with option 1 over here. They would do it anyways. So pretty much what this option is, they would do it anyways, and they would not do it anyways. So this is all coming down to kind of one question we're going to ask them. Okay, say you're going to go speak with John. You like the system, right? Yes. Do you think the system is going to work? Yes. Why do you think it's going to work? I think it's going to work because of X, Y, Z. Awesome. Solid. So it looks like you're ready to go on board with this, right? Yeah, definitely. I just need to talk with my partner. Yeah, absolutely, man. Makes sense. So say you go talk with your partner like later today, tomorrow. Worst case scenario, just want to think so I can help you out while I'm still on call with you. What's going to happen if they say no? They're either going to say they would do it anyways, or they would say they won't do it. This is what we're trying to tackle now. If they say they're going to do it anyway, we want to, number 1, tie down certainty. All right, are you sure they're going to do it? 100% sure. Is there anything that would come up? Do you think he has any questions? Do you think he would not like my hair? Like literally anything. We want to know that they're 100% going to move forward with it. All right. Number 2, A or B scenario. Should they commit now? If they say, yeah, I'm on board with it. You already did that up here in step 4, step 3. So now step 4, it's like, okay, you're all good with it, but what if your partner says no? They say the partner's going to say yes, and you just tie down that they are 100% going to go forward with it. So now you say, okay, so it sounds like you're ready to go. Makes sense to you, right? Yeah. Looks like your partner's ready to go. You're telling me he's pretty much going to be 100% with it. No objections. Think it's pretty aligned with what he wants to. Awesome. Now we make the ask. Okay, so let's just get started with it. Now, number 3, you can bring it up to them in 2 ways, either the uncertain or a certain way. So here's an example right here for you. So I definitely want you to go talk to your spouse about this, but I want to remind you that there's 2 ways you can bring this up to your spouse. Now, before I continue this, I do want you guys to know, whenever it is a partner objection, it's going to be a coaching call. It's going to pivot from a sales call to a coaching call, because now you've gotten the other partner to be on your same side of the table. Now it's 2 versus 1. Now one person is a closer, has skills, has been doing this for years. The other person is literally looking for like a closing service or something. Like he's not good. Otherwise he wouldn't be in the call. So now your time and effort should be to coach that person up to go speak with the other partner to close on your behalf. So now you're closing by proxy. That's significantly harder. So there needs to be a lot of focus on training them on what to say, how to act. If there's any, problems they may have, you can help them by giving them the objection handles right then and there. I'll continue this right here. It can be a conversation in which you go up to your partner and say, hey honey, you know that business of mine that I spent a ton of money on and only for her to give us constant ups and downs and stress? Well, I hopped on this call with this guy named Derek. Right, I met him on the internet who might be able to help us. It's $7K. What do you think? Here's the details. That's one thing. Or it can be a conversation where you sit down and tell her confidently, hey babe, I know I've let you down with the business. I know that despite all of this, you've supported me every step of the way, all the way up to this point. And I want to let you know that I've just decided, I'm committed, I'm growing this to where it should be already. I found someone to help us get us there. It makes sense. We walked through it. It's a no-brainer. But before I move forward, I want to get your emotional support and buy-in so I know we're in this together. Now let me ask you, which one of those two guys you think is going to convince his wife? This first one up here, no conviction. You don't even sound like you're super sure about it. You sound like you haven't made a decision and you want her input. And this example is like for a wife, for example. Now the bottom one there, you know what you're gonna do. You already decided on it, but now you're also giving. Real quick, you can't just go up to your wife or your girlfriend and just say, "This is what I'm gonna do," and I've already decided on it, and just say, "Awesome, I'm gonna do it anyways." They're gonna get a lot of emotional pushback on that. Women do not like to be treated like they're just boom being ran over, especially if they're business partner in part of the business. We want them to feel like they're heard, feel like they're emotionally heard, feel like their input matters, and that it's helping your decision that's already made. Not that you're telling them and not caring about what they have to say back, but you're just telling them because you have to, right? We want them to be emotionally supporting of you right here and buying in together. So you should portray it as you did all the dirty work. You still want her input, not her decision, her input, so that she can help you and guide you so that you guys can put two brains together instead of just telling her, hey, this is going to be a one brain thing and I just want your approval and then not going to have you ever again, right? There's so many ways that I'm sure you guys probably are trying to tackle the girlfriend and wife objections lots of times throughout the days. One little pro tip right there. Now, one example right there. Number 4, how are you bringing up or anything that's coming up to stop you? This is where we can help coach them, right? You're right. Because if you're not certain about this, then she's not going to be either. Nor should she be. Because with scenario 1, you're weak, you're uncertain in your direction as a leader and as a man. So look, the real question is, when you go to talk with your spouse, which of those two guys are you going to be? The first or second one? We should all be the second one. Are you sure? We're literally coaching them. We're giving them examples here. Are you sure? Because if there's anything else that's keeping you from being less than 100% certain that this is what you want to do, let me know. We can talk about it. Because they'll smell it. If there's like 99% certainty, that 1% is going to be, it's going to reek. Your girlfriend or wife, your business partner, they're going to know that and they're like, okay, let's just pause. That 1% merits just pausing. And boom, there goes impulse buying. There goes your closing rate percentage. And now it's a 2 call, 3 call, 4 call, 6-month nurture close. This is stuff we want done in the call here. Now, number 5, more commitment equals the better they feel, right? We want to be constantly asking them, all right, do you feel really committed to this? Do you feel better about this? Do you feel like you'll be able to convince her, right? We need to be asking these questions to see like, oh, I might, I don't know. I don't think she will. That's signs of don't let him go. Don't let the partner go, because that's going to be the last time you ever see them. You want to be sure. He needs to be able to convince you that you are sure that he's going to close his wife, girlfriend, or partner. If you don't feel that, if you let that person off that call, say goodbye. Like, do not be afraid to go overtime, reschedule the next call you have coming up, stay there for 2 hours to get this person. They're so close. Number 6, if you feel everything's solid and you feel, okay, they feel coached, they've told you in the beginning that they're good with it, their wife's good with it, or they should be, there's no reason she wouldn't be, and you pretty much just tell them, okay, so if you're good with it, your wife's probably going to be good with it, is there anything else that's probably holding you back? No. Do you think it's going to help you? All right, does it logically, emotionally make sense? Okay, so what's stopping us? Why can't we just get going with it, right? You make the ask or at least get a deposit and then say, yeah, makes sense. And boom, closed. The amount of times people have missed partner objections because they just have not pushed a little bit more and asked for a very logical question. You'll be so surprised by how much you'll close by just saying, if you're good with it and you feel like your wife's going to be good with it, then why are we waiting? Boom. The amount of times you'll actually get a card will astonish you. Closed. Now, let's go into the other route, which is probably more common and probably why you guys are in this video, where they say they would not do it anyway. So it's a little bit more difficult. Number one, you want to bring it up to them two ways, either the uncertain person or the certain person. So let me run you through this example right here. I definitely want you to go talk to your spouse about this, but I want to remind you that there's two ways you can bring this up to your spouse. It can be a conversation in which you go up to your partner and say, hey, honey, that business of mine that I spent a ton of money on, only for us to get constant ups and downs and stress. Well, I hopped on a call with this guy, I've been on the internet, blah, blah, blah. You guys heard this one already. It's the same exact thing. We need to make sure they're certain or uncertain. All right, yeah, I don't need to go through this for you guys already. We already covered it. Now, step 3 here is going to be challenge commitment with credit card numbers. This is probably a part you guys are going to be trying to tackle a lot in the beginning here. So I'll actually walk you through this one, not a duplicate. Okay, so we have a couple of options to move forward from here. We can either schedule a follow-up, or option 2, we put down your credit card numbers, and we're not going to do this to hold your spot or any bullshit like that. Like, we're not trying to lie to you. The reason we're doing this is to get emotional commitment from you that you're going to move forward with your goals. Now, we find that when you go with your partner, we're giving some form of commitment, but that it just respects them enough to give them the opportunity to be part of the decision-making process. But you have such a high level of certainty and commitment that comes through. So how would you like to proceed? What is the best way for you to know that when you hit the bed tonight, you're doing the best to hit, 50 appointments a month goal, whatever it may be? We want to really get some sort of commitment from them. You don't have to charge them. You don't have to do anything. You know how you go to places and if you don't pay your tab or something, you're about to leave, they're like, hey, we need your driver license, or hey, we need your wallet. They're not going to do anything, but it's just a show of commitment. If they're unwilling to do that, they're not going to close. It's a long con smoke screen, and they're just trying to get off the call, and maybe you mess something up in the back end. If they are perfectly okay with either doing a refundable deposit, which is a no-brainer, or just giving you their credit card numbers until you get back, that's going to make complete sense to them. In the scenario where we do a refundable deposit, you can literally say, okay, what we'll do is, you're on board with this, right? Solid. So what we can do, instead of waiting like 2 weeks, like you say, your wife's on vacation or something, we can get this going now. In a week, all this will be done. By week 2, you're already printing money because this is going, you're getting closes. And then when your wife's back, she can, worst case scenario, she will say, I don't like that dude. I don't, nothing, whatever the reason is, and we'll just refund you that deposit. Now, if you like it, or the onboarding call, you like it, however you want to set it, we'll just move forward with it. But this is no risk to you. You have literally nothing to lose, but everything to gain. We're giving you free trainings. We're doing the free build out, like beginning portions. You guys don't want to be working for free like that. But beginning setups, SOPs, trainings, whatever you can possibly give them for free. So it makes sense that this is a net positive, where worst case scenario, there's nothing they would lose. They would get that deposit refunded to them. But this just shows that they're serious, and psychologically, if they just do like a $500 deposit, they're going to go back to their wife and they're going to be way more convinced than just if they gave you zero deposit or zero credit card numbers. Now from there, you get a deposit, you get a close, they let you know with the follow-up, you got them closed. And congratulations, you guys got the partner objection. Now, the partner objection really is tricky. It does take a lot of practice to get into. We definitely had to go through a lot of practice. Personally, lots of closes I've had to train, go through the partner objection. Now, once again, I want to re-loop for you guys. The partner objection is probably one of the hardest objections you're going to have to deal in high-ticket sales. The best way to solve the partner objection is by just preventing it. Number one, so many opportunities you can be preventing it. Before we give them pricing, in the setter call, at the start of the call, on the appointment form booking page, you can have required questions if there's partners or whatnot. We just need to be pre-handling that. If you even get the smell or anything that they have a partner, do not reveal pricing to them. Do not go with anything forward. Literally reschedule it. The amount of times we've just stopped people halfway through their sentence and just said, hey, it's probably best we reschedule so that we can get your partner on board. That reminds me, there's one time someone just got so mad at me for that. And I said, sorry, now we need your partner on. And it never ended up going because I was like, all right, you guys don't want your partner? Like, don't be afraid to just lose those people. If they're not serious enough to get their partner on and deal with that amount of pushback before you even get on the first sales call, they're not going to want to close. They're not serious. So it's just saving yourself time. Don't be afraid of pushing back hard. Awesome. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned a little bit about the partner objection there. Implement it, doing your sales calls today, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think you guys are going to crush it. If you have any specific scenario, question, put it in the comment section. I'll respond to it and try to see how I can make it a little more personalized. Like, say it's not a partner objection, but it's like a, I don't know, cold email marketing objection. What we do, like, just get them on call. Within that call, like literally ring them up. So many times we've got people close where it's like, hey, don't leave right now. Let's just call them on the call. Get them on the call right now. Get your wife on the call and just close them there. Awesome, guys. All right. Have a good one.